Government leaders and members of various organizations across the country turned out in force to plant nearly 3.4 million saplings on 3,480 hectares of land to mark National Arbor Day on June 1st. President Thongloun Sisulit, who is also Party Secretary General, planted trees at the presidential office, while Prime Minister Dr. Sonsai Sibandon planted saplings in Samakhisai district at the Blue Province. And Minister of Agriculture and Forestry Dr. Phet Phomvipak planted trees in Domakai village, Saitani district, Vientiane. The government plans to sow at least 20,000 kilograms of seeds and over 34 million saplings on 42,000 hectares of land across the country this year. This ambitious goal is part of efforts to increase forest cover to 70% of the country's total land area. Reforestation is seen as important for socio-economic development, environmental protection, and biodiversity, as well as being a source of livelihoods.
รัฐบาลได้กำหนดเอาวันที่1 มิถุนายนของทุกปีเป็นวันปลูกต้นไม้แห่งชาติซึ่งตรงกับวันเด็กน้อยสากลเพื่อปลูกจิตสำนึกให้แก่อนุชนเยาวชนก็คือทั่วสังคมให้เห็นได้ถึงความสำคัญของป่าไม้
Speaking at a press conference on Monday to mark National Arbor Day, Dr. Phet Phomvipak said trees would be planted on about 8,535 hectares in protected forest areas. In addition, trees will be planted on 535 hectares around infrastructure projects. Industrial trees will be planted on 29,565 hectares of land, and other trees will be planted on 3,900 hectares of land owned by individuals, organizations, and businesses. Tree planting is increasingly important to ensure that 70% of the nation's land is forested, covering an area of 16.5 million hectares by 2030. This includes 4.7 million hectares of conservation forests, 8.2 million hectares of protected forests, 3.1 million hectares of production forests, and 500,000 hectares of rehabilitated forest areas. Restorations will help mitigate the effects of climate change, support environmental conservation, and protect biodiversity. Tree planting is increasingly important to ensure that 70% of the nation's land is forested, covering an area of 16.5 million hectares by 2030. This includes 4.7 million hectares of conservation forests, 8.2 million hectares of protected forests, 3.1 million hectares of production forests, and 500,000 hectares of rehabilitated forest areas. In addition, Laos' development process aims to conform to green and sustainable management plans as outlined by state and party policy. The government designated June 1st as a National Arbor Day in 1980, while International Children's Day falls on the same date as well.